Everybody, Rich Lang with Prep U down here in the bunker. Well, it is Thursday, Christmas Eve, as a matter of fact, so Merry Christmas to all of you. And this is time for your range tip of the week. As the title of the video says, know what's beyond your target. It's kind of important to get into that. It's one of the first things that you really need to know, along with keeping your the end of your rifle or firearm, or any firearm, downrange when you're in the range. Keep it away. Don't point it at people. Make sure that it's empty. Treat a firearm like it's always loaded. But knowing what's beyond your target is super important. Just a couple stories about that at the range. And I think we've talked about this before. When you have a target, not necessarily this small, but you have a target downrange, and you have your shooter here, and you have this really close, and you have a short shooter, the trajectory goes up. And where does that go? It goes into the ceiling, it goes into the rail, it cuts the lines and everything like that, and then all of a sudden your target that's here is now on the ground and the lane's out of service, and it costs ranges anywhere from $100 to $400, depending on what the damage is. And they don't really like that. You can probably get kicked out and never be allowed to come back. But it's just very important to know that, and not only the cost of the repairing it, but it's also the lost revenue from that lane being down. If you have 3 or 4 lanes down, and you got a full house, you got people waiting and you can't get them through, and they get frustrated and stuff like that. So that's just, letting you know that it's very important. Now that's the range. What about beyond the range? What if you're out hunting? Don't get tunnel vision. Don't key in on that buck or that moose. Don't key in on that whatever, the turkey or whatever you're shooting at. Know what's beyond, all right? Take a moment before you pull that trigger. I know it's exciting. Your heart's pumping. Are you going to get that shot? Are you going to drop that game with one shot and make it as humane as possible? I mean, that's really important. Besides, you don't want to chase the thing for the next, 5-6 hours. But what's beyond that? What's beyond that hill? I hunted up in the UP where you had like rolling hills like this. Well, if you're here and the buck's at the top, where's that bullet going? Where's it going to travel if you miss? And then if you're a little bit higher, what's at the next ridge? You have a hunter walking the next ridge and you don't know it. So know what's beyond your target. Don't get that tunnel vision, like I said. Look out for houses. Look out. Is there a road down? Are you shooting toward a road that could be 100, 1,000, 200 yards away? Is your bullet going to travel that far? When you set up to shoot outside, are you shooting in your backyard? Probably not a good idea if you have neighbors behind you. Probably really not a good idea. And that goes for anything that you're shooting. Bow and arrow, paintball. I remember those little hard plastic things that my son had, and I can't remember what those were called. You had to think about that, because they'll go through a window or hit somebody. You want to make sure. And that even goes toward self-defense. You are responsible for the bullet after it leaves your firearm. They don't care if you're protecting yourself or protecting somebody else. That's why self-defense rounds are important, because when they hit, they break up. If you miss somebody, if you're outside and that bullet continues, wherever that bullet goes, you are responsible for. Legally, you are responsible for your projectile. All right, you need to think about that. Yes, I know it's a tense situation. Yes, I know you're trying to protect yourself. Yes, I know you're trying to protect somebody else. You still need to look beyond your target. It's extremely important. Someplace else you ought to want to look is left and right before you shoot. Especially for self-protection, you want to make sure there aren't multiple people, that you have to worry about. All right, or other shooters, other concealed carry shooters, or defensive shooters in a situation. You want to think about that too. Know what's beyond your target. But beyond that, a couple other little notes. When you're at the range, please, people, if you're using lasers or lights, keep them on your target. Turn them off when you put your firearm down to reload or take a break or whatever. You don't want your laser going to somebody else's target. It's annoying. It pisses them off. They think you're shooting at their target. The light, same deal. You don't want to be flashing it around all over the place. You just don't want to do that. And please, at the range, if you're uncasing your firearm, make sure that you set the case down or the box so when you open it, barrel's downrange, okay? Because we don't want you picking your firearm up and sweeping across the range. It kind of freaks people out. Have many people that said, but it's empty. And guess what? Lo and behold, they found out that it wasn't empty, okay? It's just, just common etiquette. That's about it. So that's it for today. But the main thing is know what's beyond your target, no matter what situation you're in, at the range, inside or out, hunting or self-protection. Also, watch your laser and your light in the range, and please uncase your firearm so it is pointed down range. That's it. This has been Rich Lang with Prep U down here in the bunker, wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. And as always, subscribers, thank you very much. Please pass this video along. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. We'd appreciate that. And we always end our videos with know your surroundings. Know the situation. Know what's going on at all times. Don't be walking blindless with your phone in front of your face. It's a great way to get your phone taken and everything else. 2, all right, have enough food to bug out or shelter in place. And also, prep like your life depends on it, because we all know your life does depend on how well you prep. Thanks a lot. Take care.